Do you know that you are in the US of A, the United States of Atlanta? Atlanta is a microcosm for any fast-growing metropolitan city in the US. And as compared to other cities throughout the United States, we could say that Atlanta is still a fairly young city. By a show of hands, how many of you would agree? Excellent. So in regards to that, you guys might have seen this certain meme go viral on your social media platforms. But the first one is, you have to be extremely rich in Atlanta to date someone broke. That struck a chord with a lot of people. But I'll give you an example. My brother, he's in his 20s, he has a good job, he's young, looking to meet, a good woman. So he usually tells me about his dating stories. And he met this nice young woman, was excited to take her out, get some good food, get some good drinks, just get to know her better. They went out, the night was going good, they were vibing, they were communicating, and then it was time for the check to come. When the check came, the young woman asked for 3 extra to-go plates to take home to her kids. Once again, dating in Atlanta is expensive. And another meme you might have seen go viral is poverty charges interest. Can't pay to get your teeth clean, next year, a root canal. Can't pay for a new mattress, next year, back surgery. Can't pay to get that lump checked out, next year, stage 3 cancer. Poverty truly charges interest. And so people like to say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound in cure. But what if you can't even afford the ounce, let alone the pound? For years, thousands have migrated to the city of Atlanta because of how affordable the city is. But you gotta know one thing. If you're gonna be broke in Atlanta, you better have money. Now, I'm a city native, born and raised in College Park, Georgia. And as I was young, I always got to see wealth. Hopping in my family's van, driving up, down, and around 285. On Sundays, I would take time to go past the beautiful mansions of Buckhead, drive past the high sky rises of Midtown, go past the meticulously landscaped subdivisions with their homeowners association signs and their big Olympic-sized pools. And I thought to myself, that's gonna be me. Yeah, definitely, I'm gonna be that. And even though I was on the outside looking in, I felt like I was given a checklist to getting rich. Go to school and get a good job. And so that's what I did. I was 21 years old, just graduated from Georgia State University in the top ranks of my class. I had my 9 to 5 and my 5 to 9, typical Atlanta way. I had 2 incomes and I was ready to take on the world, but then reality kicked in. I hopped in my car, I drove downtown, and I started my apartment search. And I realized very quickly, I could not afford to live in the city that I was born in. And I was devastated. The city that I love so much, and I mean loved, still seemed out of my reach. That drive home, I really had a lot of emotions flowing through my head. What did I miss here? What did I go wrong? And what am I supposed to do from now? Atlanta has a long history with income segregation, with less access and resources being available to communities of color to truly grow their wealth. Not just spend their wealth, because we have plenty of that, but to truly grow our wealth. And according to a Brookings Institute report, the city of Atlanta has one of the smallest middle classes as compared to 50 other US cities. But it's different here because you're surrounded by wealth. You get to party with wealth, you eat with wealth, you drink and have fun with wealth, that soon you start to forget where you actually stand. Talk about it. Atlanta is filled with people who believe they are rich by proximity. Now they say, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. But what they don't say is, the man needs a fishing rod. Fishing rods are opportunities. And I learned at that crucial moment in my 20s that in order to break the broke cycle, I needed access to opportunities. What you have to understand is the world loves you broke. And everyone makes way more money off of you being broke. For example, the leasing office of your apartment complex or your condo. When you are late with your monthly fee, they make money off of your monthly rent and your late fees. The banks. When you decide to wake up early on Saturday morning and swipe all around town, swipe to go do brunch, swipe to be at a day party, swipe to go shopping, but you did not have the money to match in your bank account, guess what's waiting for you at the end of the day? Overdraft fees. The car dealership. When you decide you're finally ready for a new car, you already have set in your mind what you want to get, what you can afford. You get down to the car dealership and the salesman pushes you into a little bit more car than you can afford and a little bit more of a newer model. It's all in hopes that interest will catch up with you. Once again, like I said, if you're going to be broke in Atlanta, you better have money. After that drive home on that day, in my early 20s, it really started to stir something up inside of me. It kicked off my obsession to understanding wealth, which truly changed the trajectory of the rest of my life. Broke to me meant being one step behind in your bank account, praying to God for a break. Dear God, I just need one break, just one. When you are operating in the energy of brokenness, you miss out on opportunities to hold on to your money. And not just hold on to your money, you miss out on opportunities to grow your money. And it's the little things that kill your bank account. So at this point, what do we do, Nicole? You have to unlearn money as you know it. Everything that you have been taught about money to this point is not reality. Money is a renewable resource. You have to get into your money flow. Money comes and it goes, it ebbs and it flows. Money is meant to move. And when you're cheap about receiving it or weird about spending it, you block its natural course. So a city like Atlanta is filled with wealth floating through the air, right? You can feel it. You can walk outside and it smells like money, right? Right? And in many fast-growing cities across the U.S., it smells like money. But it does us no good if we're not participating in it. Also, Atlanta is experiencing a lot of high-level job growth. According to NPR, 2 decades after the 90s, Atlanta had some of the highest employment gains of any city in the U.S. And also, it's a hotbed of entrepreneurship. Over 522,000 women-owned businesses started right here in Georgia just last year. So we have to understand when we're doing broke activity that goes against the natural course of money. So broke activity is doing things as if money's going to run out. That's not the way that money works. Broke activity is having a scarcity mindset, which costs you more money in the long run. And let me give you guys an example. And I'm not saying this has happened to anybody in here. I just have heard that it's happened. You're in your car, you head downtown, you finally find a place to park, you look up and you see it's a meter. Shout out to Park Atlanta. You figure, I'm going to pay the most minimal amount to this meter to get me through the day. You put the most minimal amount in, you hop out the car, you walk into your big fancy meeting, you walk into your big fancy event, you stay a little bit longer than what you thought you were, and you walk outside to what? A boot. That's broke activity. Money is energy. Energy is currency, and there is an unlimited supply of it. Purposeless frugality costs you quality of life. I'm going to repeat that again. Purposeless frugality costs you quality of life. So once we start to understand that money is a renewable source, and we understand that we have to get into our money flow, what do we get then? We get more money, we get more time, we get less hassle, and we get better health, because being broke affects your health, right? Stress sitting on top of you, it does something to your inner makeup. So understanding and relearning what money is does so much for your health. I want to challenge you to do these 5 things as soon as you leave here today. I call it my Coinfidence, or also known as money confidence method. Number 1, you have to understand that America loves to see you broke. Do you guys understand that? Yeah. Number 2, you have to know that there are debt bombs that surround you every day. From on your phone to when you log on to when you pull out your driveway, debt is being marketed to you consistently. 3, you have to do whatever it takes to know what your money triggers are. When you're in a city with so much energy, everything's appealing to whatever you haven't fixed on the inside regarding money. If a trigger for you is that you feel like you need to give money to get love, go downtown and somebody will make you feel like they love you if you give them money, right? Go anywhere in the city and somebody will appeal to that trigger, and you have to get ahead of that trigger and understand where you really stand. Number 4, do whatever it takes not to live life on the edge. On the edge is where catastrophe begins. On the edge is what makes people pack up their bags and head back home and leave Atlanta. Being on the edge is what turns such a beautiful experience of living in this city into a living hell. So you have to do whatever it takes to not live on the edge. And number 5, you have to know everything that you've been taught about money was from a different perception. It could have been from your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, who only had access to so much knowledge surrounding money. But as you started to grow up, as you started to enter into the world on your own, you realized there was way more to this thing called money than what you knew about. So you have to dig in at this point. Being broke is not a number in your bank account. It is a state of mind. And when you are set in your money flow and you understand that money is a renewable resource, you're able to live life to its fullest capacity. So just remember, in the city of Atlanta, and we'll call it the United States of Atlanta, it's probably going to cost you more money to be broke than to be rich. So we might as well create our own financial legacies. Peace up, A-Town down.